Welcome to today's Zoom meeting, where we'll be talking about the main function of Royalq. Why Royalq? Why do we trade with Royalq? I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes.
Very George.
Okay, so today will be a practical class. Do we have new partners or prospects?
Yes, we do have new partners.
Huh?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we'll start. We'll just give a brief introduction about what Royalq is. Then we'll go into our topic. Why are we using Royalq? What is Royalq? Royalq simply means Royal Quantitative Artificial Intelligence Robot. You all know that what robots does, they make life easy for us. So what the human can do, just like you walking from here to your bus stop, a robot like a car, if you have to spend like 10 minutes to walk to your bus stop, with your car, you can spend like a minute, you get to the bus stop. So that is a robot. So if you are to go to your Binance, start studying charts just to make profits from cryptocurrency, from trading the crypto, maybe buying a coin, when it increases, you sell. So that stress of you always going to your Binance, you might not even know when the coin will increase. You might maybe you might buy a coin today, and tomorrow morning, when you open, you will see that the night before that morning, that coin must have done like 200% increase. But you are not awake, you did not go to Binance to check it. So these are the manual way of trading. Why Royalq? Why are we using Royalq? Royalq is designed to help to automate this trading. Royalq is designed to automate this trading, to make the robot help trade cryptocurrency for us in the spot market. That is buying the coins at a price and observing the coin. If it will go up, it will sell and make profits for you. Your capital, the trading capital, stays in the comfort of your exchange, be it Binance. We just link the Royalq account with your exchange, your Binance, Coinbase, Hobby, OKX. There are up to 7 exchanges that you can link to your Royalq. Your capital, you don't send this to Royalq. Your capital stays in this your exchange. You just do what we call the API binding. You bind your Royalq to your exchange, and you give the robot just 2 permissions. Permission number 1 is for the robot to be able to read the market, to see the crypto market. Permission number 2, for the robot to be able to buy. The robot should be able to use your USDT, which is your trading capital. The trading capital will be in USDT dollars. For the robot to be able to use it to buy a coin. When the coin has increased in value, for the robot to sell that coin back and return your capital and profit back to USDT. So that is what the robot will be doing. It buys a coin. When the coin goes up, it sells and makes profits for you. It works 24/7. Whether your phone is on, whether your phone is off, whether your data is on, whether your data is off, it works 24/7. That is Royalq. It monitors the market. When it's up, it buys and sell and make profits for you. When the coin starts, some people will ask, what happens if the coin the robot is trading starts going down? What will the robot do? The robot is being designed to buy what we call the margin calls. Margin calls simply means when a coin is going down, for the robot to be buying quantity of the coin. You understand? You are trading the coin, but the coin has started going down. When the coin is going down, it means that the value of that coin is reducing. So what will the robot do? It will be buying at different points. We call those points the margin calls. So when it gets to point, imagine one, it buys some quantity of the coin at a cheaper price. When the coins also reduce again in value, in price, the robot also we buy again at a cheaper price. If the coin continue going down, the robot will be buying the coins at a cheaper price. And you know, any commodity you buy at a cheaper price, when the coin starts going up, increasing in value, the robot will start selling it and making profits for you. Even when that coin is still in deep, even when that coin is recovering, it has not recovered finish. You understand? The robot will be selling and be making profits for you. That is why we define Royalq as an artificial intelligent robot that helps us to create, that helps us to trade the financial market, the cryptocurrency markets, in the sports markets, making profits for us. You understand? Making profits for us without us giving it our capital. The robot does not hold our capital. Our capital stays in Binance. It makes the profits for us. Our capital and profit stays in our exchange. So you see that the business, there's nothing like being scamming. Some persons will ask, how much will you make? How much return can you make in a day? How much return can you make in a week? How much return can you make in a month? Trading with so and so, maybe $3,000, $1,000. How much can I receive? Royalq is like you starting a provision store. So this is not, Royalq is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a get rich scheme. Royalq is a business, just like you starting up a provision store. You rent a shop, you pay the shop rent, you keep money for the gas fees, you keep money for your utility fees in your shop, you pay for light. It's part of the utility fees you pay in your shop. So in Royalq, you keep some fraction of that utility fee. We call it gas fees in Royalq. So your shop money, which is the money you use to rent the robot, which is $120 for a year, at least $20 for the utility fees. That is the 140 you are to send to your robot account. If you are to trade, if your trading capital that will stay in your exchange is $100, if you are starting with $100, you have to keep at least $20. If you have to start with $200, you have to keep at least $40 as your gas fees, as your utility fees. So if you have to start a provision store and you start with like $3,000, there's no how you can give any estimate of, okay, I'll be making $2 or $30 daily, or I'll be making $10 weekly. No how, because it's a provision store. You get customer today, you can get big customer today, you can get small customer today, you can get no customers today. The next day, you can get plenty customers. So there's no how you can say this is the amount of return you should be expecting. All we promise you, all Royalq is saying is that the business is profitable trading cryptocurrency, because crypto, you can see coins will up today, tomorrow coins will increase. The robot will be making profits for you. When coins drop, it will be buying margin costs. When costs increase, it will be selling to make profits for you. So that is how Royalq operates. To start it, you need at least $240 to start it. Out of the $240, it's only $140 that you send to the robot. Your trading capital, which is the $100, at least starting $100, stays with you in your Binance. You have every right to withdraw it at will, as far as the robot is not using it to trade. You understand? Then the robot has two modes. Is either if you are the kind of the busy type, you can set the robot to autopilot, in the sense that the robot will continue trading a coin, buy, sell, drop your profits for you in your exchange. Use the capital, buy again, sell. When it increases, it sells, drop the profit for you, and it will continue working like that, dropping your profits, making profits for you. That is autopilot. We have the other function, which is the one shot, in the sense that you are telling the robot to only trade this coin once, make profit for me, and stop. So that is the two modes in using the robot. So that is all about trading the robot. The robot also has some functions, some juicy functions like the callback function. The callback function is the function that makes the robot to make more profits for you when trading. If you are to set 2%, you want the robot to take 2% profits for you. With the callback function, the robot can take more above 2% or below 2% for you. That is the function of the callback function. It's one of the unique features of the Royalq, the callback functions. Then the next unique feature that is the basic features of Royalq is what we are discussing today, which is the margin calls. But before I will go into the margin calls, there's another aspect of Royalq, which is the team building. In the sense that in your provision store, remember you rented the shop for 1 year, and if you are able to say, okay, you like the results, you like this business, and you are able to post it online that you have started a provision store, and someone somewhere online, your friend, said, okay, I would like to start this provision business with you, and you bring the person to rent shop beside you, the landlord of the shop will reward you with $30. In the sense that in Royalq, if you like the business is safe, no risks, no loss. We only experience floating time, which is the time for coins that will drop to increase back. The last market correction when coins drop was, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday. And today, the coin have already started coming up, recovering. So that is the only thing we experience in Royalq, waiting time. Sometimes you don't wait up to 24 hours before you start, your coins will start coming up and selling the sub-in, selling the margin calls. The margin calls it's bought cheaper. So that is the other function. Then of Royalq. Now, if you like the business and you introduce it to someone, Royalq gives you immediately $30 as a reward. Now, if you are good, if you put the person that you introduce to Royalq, if you put the person to start the business well, and the person is making profit for him or herself, Royalq gives you daily rewards, telling you thank you for what you are doing for your neighbor, what you are doing for your friend you introduced to Royalq. So that is it. The money Royalq gives us, the money we make from using Royalq is not from Royalq. The money we make, the profits we make, comes from the international market, which is the cryptocurrency market, as we all know, is an international market. So Royalq helps us to trade in the international market, making profits for us. It's not like Royalq is giving us the profits. No. Royalq help us to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, and give you your capital. Your capital stays with you. It's just easy to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, and return your profits back. Your profits, when it makes the profits, it stays with you. It's just like you rented the shop and put a sales guy. The sales guy is not the owner of the goods inside. The sales guy only helps you the sales guy is always standby. Any customer come, the sales guy will help you to perform the transaction and make profits for you. Your capital, your goods you are selling in the shop, the profits you make from the shop stays inside the shop, not with the sales girl. So that is it, because they will pay the money into your bank account. That is how your profits, your capital stays in your crypto account, we call the exchange. So that is how we work in Royalq. You can make money through the trade process. The robot will be making trade profits for you in your exchange, or you can make money through the rewards Royalq they're giving you for helping someone to start a genuine business. So for those that are joining us for the first time, if you have questions about what I just said about the business, please use the chat, click on the chat, or if you want to speak, you'll just use the unmute or use the reaction, so that we'll ask you'll be on me, we'll ask you to unmute yourself. So you speak to us and ask your questions, please. But if we don't have any questions, we'll go into the main topic of today, which is the margin calls, is the basis on which Royalq was designed. Normally, before Royalq came, people have been trading on the exchange manually, going to the exchange. So many factors have been affecting people. Poor management. When you have $100 and you go to Binance to trade, you'll be forced to use all the $100 to buy the coin. But in Royalq, you'll be, because of the margin calls, if you have $100, you'll be forced to use like $30 to start to buy the coin, reserving 70. A good trader must always have spare USDT in case of market correction. Because if we have two models of car, we have the same model of car. You bought your car at 5 million, and that same car you bought at 5 million, after 1 week, I bought that same car, the same model, I bought it at 3 million. Who bought at a good price? I'm the one, because I bought at 3 million. The same price, the same car you bought at 5 million, I bought at 3 million. So a good trader must always have spare money to buy the trades, to buy more quantity of the coin when the coins are going down. So that is why Royalq was introduced, to help us manage our capital. Royalq was also introduced to help us monitor the market 247, whether you have data or not, whether you have chance to open your Binance, whether you're a professional, you're not a professional, to be able to read Binance, to read the trace charts. Royalq helps you to do all that. Okay? So we have a question here. Witness said, please share more light on autopilot. Is cycle mode same as autopilot? Please, the cycle we are talking about is the CYCLE. So please, we want to go into the main topic for today. So for those that are joining us for today newly, you might not understand, but I'm going to share my screen to talk about the main function of Royalq. So you can join us, you can follow, but I promise you, once you activate your robot, meet the person that introduced you to the Zoom, the person will share the link, you register, you activate, you keep your trading capital in your exchange. You don't give it to anybody. You don't send it to Royalq. And the robot will start trading it for you and be making profits for you. So, I will start with the question, because the question is somehow linked to the topic of today. So please share more light on autopilot. Means cycle trading. Cycle trading means putting your the trade mode is either one shot or cycle. CYCLE. Cycle trading. When I share my screen, I will show you the cycle trading. So it's not this CIRCLE. The one we are using is cycle trading. I will show you when we enter. That is the same thing as autopilot. You are telling the robot, you are giving the robot instruction that this coin you are trading, when you make profit for me, start the process again. Buy the coin again and trade it for me again. Continue doing that until I come to change it to one shot. So that is autopilot. As far as on cycle mode, the robot continues buying, selling, buy, sell, buy, sell, make profit for you, 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 buy. If the coins goes down, it buys, buy more margin, buy more margin, buy more margin, buy more margin. When it starts going up, it starts selling the margin, selling the margin, selling the margin. When it not recovers fully, it now sell the complete trade for you and buy it again and start. That is autopilot. You don't need to go to enter any other trade. The robot trades only that signal for you, that trade for you multiple times. So that is the meaning of it. So our new people here, you guys don't have any questions for us. So leader Oshari, we should enter the topic, right? Okay. So I've already explained the basics on which I will share my screen now. I've explained the basics on which Royalq was designed. So these are Royalq. These are Royalq, a very genuine business. We have been into this business for this our third year. Me personally, I started the business in July 2021. And this is my third year of using Royalq. And it has been amazing. I bought my first car from this business. I did so many other achievements from Royalq. So let's go. You can see my screen, right? Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes,
so the traditional way of trading before. So let me start from there so you understand why we are using Royalq. Why it is important to use a robot to automate your trades. As it's very important for you to use washing machine to wash, to use your car to travel from Lagos to Abuja. That is how important it's for you to use a robot, an artificial intelligence robot, to trade cryptocurrency. Because if you are able to walk from Lagos to Kaduna or Lagos to Abuja, or you sit down and bend down and start washing your clothes, you will know the difference when you use the washing machine to wash your clothes or use plane to fly to Abuja. You will feel the difference. So it's the same thing. Manually, I've explained the manual type when we go to Binance and trade. I've explained the reasons why we have to use Royalq. Now, what is margin calls? In the sense that when if you have $100 and you go to Binance to trade, to buy coin in the spot market, you buy Bitcoin with you'll be forced. You see that you will not want to even use $30 to start to buy the Bitcoin, because you might be busy. You might not even go back to check what the coin is doing. You might not have time to even see when the coin is increasing so that you sell and make profits. So you see that if you use $100 to buy, number one, you are not doing you are not doing capital management now, because you just use all your total, your 100% capital to buy a coin. So it's different in Royalq. Now you buy this coin, and Bitcoin, you buy Bitcoin when it's around 45,000, and you buy it in Binance manually. Bitcoin now drops to 42,000. You see that as a trader, you are not making profits. Your $100 would have turned to like $85. The value, you have already used $100 to buy Bitcoin. Your quantity of Bitcoin remains the same, but the value now will be like $85 in value. Now you are still looking at it, or maybe in the evening you open your Binance and you see that your value is 85. Now, what happens when that coin now increase again to 100? You see that as a manual trader, you are still not making profit. Even if that coin increase to 110 in the night you are sleeping, and now drops down to 95. In the morning, if you wake up and you check, you see that this coin did well. My capital reached 120 or 110 in the midnight, but I was sleeping. Now my capital is around, the value of my coin is around 95. So you see that you are not making profits. So in Royalq, there's what we call the margin configuration. That is the basics of which the Royalq was designed, was developed. So what is margin configuration? Margin configuration as instructions. They are sets of instructions that tells the robot to buy some quantity at a particular time. Time in the sense that when the coins or the prices of the coin is reducing. So margin call is the set of instruction, set of buy instruction. Buy in crypto means buying more quantity of the coin. So margin calls are sets of instruction given to the robot to buy a coin, to buy some quantity of the coin the robot is trading for you at a reduced prices, at some reduced prices. So margin calls are sets of buy instructions telling the robot to sell, telling the robot to buy, sorry. Margin calls are sets of buy instruction, instructing the robot to buy some quantity of the coin when the price of that coin is reducing in value. Do we understand the explanation, or is there any question on it? Should I take it again?
Yeah, that's that. Maybe you should go on.
Okay. So in margin configuration, if you check any trades here, so this is how the robot will start a trade. So you see the chart, you click on quit. The robot uses what we call the margin calls. The default for Royalq, it uses what we call the martingale strategy. The martingale strategy is very simple. You are a rice seller. You're a rice seller. You start. You have 300,000 to start a rice business. But I want to explain what this martingale strategy you can see on my screen. That is the default of Royalq margin configuration. So let me explain, because that is what we are using. But it can be edited. But the default of martingale strategy means that if you are starting your bag of rice business with a bag, you went to the market to buy one bag of rice to sell in your shop. You bought the bag of rice at 50,000. Now the bag of rice, the price of bag of rice after 2 days now dropped to 45,000. You know that nobody will come and buy your bag of rice at the current price you are selling. You bought a bag of rice at 50,000, maybe you are selling it at 55,000. Now the cost value of rice reduced from 50,000 to 45. So people that went to the market today to buy bag of rice at 45, they are now selling at 50,000. You yourself, nobody will come and buy your bag of rice at 55,000 because the new price is at, in the selling, people that are buying now, they are buying bag of rice at 50,000. So, and you cannot sell your own bag of rice at 50,000. You just bought it at 50,000 to sell at 55. Now, people that went to the market, other shop businessmen or women that went to the market are buying bag of rice at 45,000 now, and they are selling for 50,000, making profit. So you, what will you do as a businessman? You go back to the market and buy those 45,000 bag of rice too. That is, you bought one the first time to start the business. Now you are going back because the price of rice has reduced. You are going back to buy 2 bags of rice. That is times 2. The martingale strategy means duplicating the quantity that you last bought. That is what the martingale strategy is all about. And you know that if you now go to the market to buy that bag of rice at 45,000 too, you bought 2. If you come back and sell the 3 bags of rice at 50,000 now, you know that you have made profit from your rice business. Your profits now will come from the 2 bags of rice you bought at 45,000. So that is what the Martingale strategy entails. If that bag of rice drops again from 45,000 to 30,000, the robot will activate your margin call 2. In the Martingale strategy, the quantity that it will buy now will be times 2. That is that 2 bags times 2, which is 4. That is the second margin calls. The second instruction is telling the robot that if this bag of rice drops from that 45,000 it's selling, if the price reduced to 30,000, Martingale strategy will tell the robot to buy times 4. So the seller, the businessman that is selling the rice now will go back to the market and buy 4 bags of rice, each at 30,000. Now, if the bag of rice now increase to 40,000, even if the businessman sells the 4 bags of rice he bought now, the 2 bags of rice he bought now, and the first one it bought initially, if he sells everything at a price of 40,000, he will still be in profit. So you see, these are the Martingale strategy. The robot does all this calculation. If you go to Binance to be trading on your own, you know that it's very hard for you to start doing all these calculations. So that is the Martingale strategy. So, but we edit the Martingale strategy. That is why if you click on create now, you see this second place they wrote, feel free to create your own strategy, more flexible. We use this last one. Feel free to create our own strategy, because of our capital might not do that Martingale's default strategy, which is always doubling your last buy. If your last quantity is 4, it will be 4 times 2. The next one you buy now will be times 8. So instead of you to buy 4 bags of rice, because the price have reduced to like 15,000, you will go to the market and buy 8. So that is the default of Martingale strategy. So, but because of the profit, the capital most of us have, we use editing. We use this one. So this is how the robot, this is the instruction. This is your plane, the pilot, you are the pilot. This is your dashboard in the plane. You give instruction for the plane to start flying. So for here, you click on trade settings. Look at it down here. So when you click on trade settings, you set the first buy-in amount is there. Like I said, if you are trading with $100, you start with 30, you keep 70 for margin calls. You keep 70 because I told you that a good trader must have reserved USDT. If you go to Binance, you might be forced to, human nature might make you to use $100 to buy a coin. When you go Royalq, you have the margin. If you see here, you have the margin configuration. Because of this margin configuration, you have the mentality that, please, if you are starting with 100, you can change it to 30. That is using 30% to start. Keep 70 for margin cost, because in cryptocurrency, price goes up. Price goes up and it comes down. When it comes down, the robot is supposed to activate your margin calls, because margin calls are only activated when a coin the value of a coin is reducing. That is only when margin calls is being introduced. So now for those joining us, these settings will be given to you by your upline. So you just have to fill them. But we are explaining what margin configuration is all about. So I will click on this margin configuration page. Now look at it here. It works. Let me go back. It works with this margin call limit. This margin call limit now works with the money you reserve that you want to use to set up your margin calls. As I explained the bag of rice, using bag of rice as example, You saw that the first reduction was when it's reduced from 50 to 45. The second reduction is when it reduced from 45 to 30. The third reduction was when it reduced from 30 to 15. So those points, we call them the margin calls. So if, as a trader, you say that you want to buy a bag of rice at 3 different prices because of your capital that is remaining. So for the purpose of cryptocurrency and the purpose of using this example for $100 trade capital, we'll start with 30 and we reserve 70. Now, if we reserve 70, the lowest you can use to buy margin calls is $11. Sorry, excuse me. So the lowest you can use to buy the margin calls is $11. So if you, for instance, you have $100 and you have used 30 to start to buy the first bag of rice, you use $30 to buy it. Now you are left with 70. If we do 70 divided by 11, I said $11 is the least you can use to buy each margin calls. So can someone do it? Well, how many are we going to get? 70, which is our budget for the margin calls, divided by $11. How many are we going to get? Are we together? Hello? This
Yes,
class
we
is
are.
today's Zoom is practical class, so we are doing it together for
We
you
are
to
together,
understand.
sir.
So 70 divided by 11. I said the
Well,
lowest USDT you can use to
6.3.
6.3. So we only use the whole number, which is 6. The margin call limit cannot be 6, you cannot put decimal. So we are only using 6, as in one single decimal, as in one whole number, which means the margin call limit here is 6. It means that that bag of rice price, you want to buy the bag of rice at 6 points, 6 different reduction in prices. That is the meaning of this margin call limit. And it works with your remaining capital you want to use to set up your margin calls. Are we following?
Yes.
Hello,
yes.
are we following? Okay. So the
Yes.
next thing, okay, so you know how we got the margin call limit. It works on the money, our capital after removing the first buy amount, which is the money the robot will use to start the trade. The remaining amount, which is for this purpose of this example, is $100 trade capital. So if we remove 30 to be 70, that 70 now we want to space it for the robot to use it to buy our margin calls. And we don't want to use we want to edit our martingale strategy to suit our capital. Now we are left with $70 to share between the reduction to buy. Now we are saying the lowest amount you can use to buy each margin calls is $11. Some people might decide that the first margin, they want to use $11 to buy. The second margin, when the coin drops more, they want to use like $20 to buy. Some can say, okay, in my fifth margin, I want to use $50 to buy. Now, you have already set the margin call limit. So you already know how to set the margin call limit. If you want to use $50 out of your 70, maybe you want to use $20 to buy margin 1, and you want to use $20 to buy margin 2. How many margin call limits will be here? What would be for our margin call limits? How many margin calls are we going to use now?
I think it's 3 margin calls.
No. The remaining capital we want to use to buy our margin call is 70. And we are saying that we want our first margin, we want to use $20 to, I've already answered the question already, sir. I said I want to use the $20 to buy my first margin, and I want to use $50 to buy the second margin. So automatically our margin call limit will be two.
Reduced to. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we understood that one. So let me return back our 6. Because anything you put here 2, if you click on margin configuration, it will be 2. So you see that it's first call, second call. So let me go back. For the purpose of this, our training is $100 we are using. And we want it to buy 6 margin calls. The more margin calls you use, the better. Because like the dip that happened, the market correction that happened day before yesterday, most of the coin did, I think the highest that went down was big in Royalq coins. The coins available for Binance in Royalq. The highest that reduced was big, and it reduced to about 25%. When I saw the reduction, big was on minus 25. So all I would say, the more margin calls limits you have, we favor you when there's a market correction. Market correction does not always happen every day. You don't see crypto going down every day. In a bear season, in a bull season, we are about entering. So the market correction will happen once in a while. So making sure your margin call limit is moderate will favor you. It's not that you will say because of his bull season, you want to use only 1 margin, but you want to use 2. At least try to cover below 20%. Since your first buy will be 30%, at least slow and steady wins the race. Don't be too greedy. Don't be too greedy and say you want to use 2 margin or you want to use 1 margin and put the 70. Let the robot buy the only 1 margin with the $70. Please don't be too greedy. So let me continue. So for this example, we want to use $11 to buy each of the 6 margin calls. So we'll click on margin configuration. So you can see it's now 6. Now, most people don't understand this page. This is the basic. You cannot be putting money in a business and you don't know the basic of that business. This is the basic of Royalq. You cannot, some people will stay in a business in Royalq. They will say, I'm in Royalq 2 years, I did not make profit the first year. But if you ask them what is margin configuration, they cannot explain it. Royalq is not a Ponzi scheme now. You are saying you did not make profit in the first year. Do you know the basic of Royalq? Do you know the basics of the business? MMM have done so many damage to some of our Nigerians, in the sense that they just want to put money and get profit. They don't care to understand the basic of the business. This is the basic of the business. You cannot say you don't understand what is happening on this page and you want to be making profit. Royalq is not a Ponzi scheme. You need to be a pilot, a certified pilot, before you can fly a plane and leave Lagos and arrive in Abuja in 1 hour to make work easier. You must have the knowledge of how to fly a plane for you to get good results. So some people will put 1 million in a business and they don't know what margin calls. Why can't you just take out your time, even if it's 1 week, to learn what margin calls is? It's a business that you have invested money. You should know what margin configuration is all about in the business you invested money inside. So let me start. The margin configuration page, we have 2 parts. If you can see clearly in the left-hand part, we have what we can see percentage. percentage, percentage, percentage on the left-hand side. Having the label margin call drop. So you are free to say margin call drop percentage is on the left-hand side of the margin configuration page. On the right-hand side, you can see times. Those that love mathematics, you know that times means when you start talking about numbers. In Royalq, when you want to start talking about money, how much? When I explain what margin calls, the meaning of margin calls, I mentioned two key things. I mentioned at a reduced prices, and I mentioned using some quantity of USDT to buy the coin at some reduced prices. So I mentioned two key things, and these are the two things. You are telling the robot cannot do guesswork. If you don't set this place, the robot will use the default, which is the martingale strategy. And I doubt your $100 can foot up to the second margin. So I doubt that your $100 can carry up to 2 margin calls if you are using the martingale strategy. So if you don't learn how to set this and you are using margin configuration, you do not set here, Royalq will automatically use the default margin settings for you, which is the martingale strategy, which the first year on this place will be 2. This place will be 4. This place will be 8. Okay, you can see 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So you see that before you can use this default, you must have almost, I think, 700 or 800 with your first buy. Your first buy must be like $11 for you to use the default martingale strategy of Royalq settings. You must have almost, I don't know if I'm getting it right, because if you do 64 times 11, please, it's not 700 though. Because no, I know for you to use the default, you must have which capital. So let me explain so you understand what I just said. So let's go. The first part, this left-hand side, the left-hand side of the margin configuration is talking about the margin call drop. This part here is talking about the prices. When there is a drop in prices of the coin. Remember, margin configuration is all about the downward movement, the reduction in value of a coin. When the coin is going down, that is what the left-hand side of the margin configuration page is all about. So, anything you fix on the first score, 1.3%, it means that the robot will automatically generate the price when this coin drops by 1.3%. The robot will see the price that the coin will be at when the coin reduced by 1.3%. It's the work of the artificial intelligence robots to calculate. You only set it well. Now I said try to cover at least 20%. Try to cover at least 20%. Because in the last market correction, I think the point that went down was 25 minus 25%, which is big. So at least if you are using $100 and you are using 6 margin calls, try to cover 20%. With what we have here, it's already more than 20. So we can edit it. Remember, if you are using this big spacing, you can see 4.5% in the third call. The coin can easily drop. Maybe if there's no huge market correction, you see that your robot can only be buying, if you are using like this now. Please let us, okay, let me explain the left-hand side before I come to the times. So we are in percentage. Always cover at least 20% for this boost season, so that anytime there's a market correction, the robot can buy all your margin calls. So let's say the first two is 1.3, 1.3. This first two will automatically make your capital 11 plus 11. No, we said we want to use $11 to buy all the margin calls. So if the robot, because of this, our first call drop is 1.3. If the coin is dropping, it can easily buy your first call, your second call. So that the total money of USDT inside that trade will be around 22 plus 30, which is 52. So you see that 50% of your capital is already inside the trade. So that when the trade gives you your 2% profit or your 3% profit, at least the profit will make sense. So that is why we say, okay, well, that's why I'm proposing that your first call, second call, use this smaller margin. So if you calculate these two, 1.3 reduction, the second call, another 1.3 reduction, it will give us 2.6. 2.6. So let's say this one is 3.4. So if you check 1.3 plus 1.3 is 2.6. If we add 2.6 to our third call, which is 3.4, 2.6 will give us 6, right? So we have gotten 6% drop in our third call. 6% drop. So if we say the fourth call, let's reduce it to 3.2. 3.2. 6 plus 3 will give us 9. 9.2. Let's reduce this one to 5.8. So 9.2 plus 5.8 will give us 15. So you can make this one 5. So you see. So this is how to, some people might say, someone was asking me, how do I set my margin call drop percentage? I told the person, set anything you like. Because you can decide to use any one you like. So people might say, I've used this one, the robot is not buying my margin. You see that the third call is around 3.4%. For this robot to buy this third call, it means that this coin must have dropped by 6%. Yes, the coin must have dropped by 6%. So a coin might be doing well in up to 1 week without even retracing, without doing correction of minus 6%. So you see that up to that 1 week, your robot will only be trading with $30, which is your first buy. If the coin did not even drop at all to minus 1.3%. But it's good as a trader. Remember the first thing I said, as a trader, it's good for you to always have spare USDT. With these settings now, you will definitely be having spare USDT. But your profit might be small because if the robot does not buy all your margins, you will not be making the percentage, you take profit percentage on your total $100 capital. So this is what you should understand. This is what Royalq, these engineers, these developers, they have been traders. They have so many experience from the trading before they were able to develop Royalq. So they understand that markets must always undergo corrections. That is why margin calls was developed. So that when the coins come down, the robot can make profits for you, even when the coins is staying down. If you are using these settings now, before that day before yesterday market correction, you will make so much profit. Because what I do for this coin to drop by 1%, 1.3, it buys the first margin. It drops again by 1.3, it buys the second margin. The coin drops again, that is, it's reducing in value. It's reducing in value. In your Royalq homepage, what you'll be seeing is floating loss. But the robot is buying the coins, more quantity of the coins at the cheaper price. If the coin reduced by 3.4% again, the robot will buy again, the third call. Now you have almost $33 from your margin calls, and you have the first initial $30, your first buy, which will give you $63 in the coin, in the trade. So even if this coin did not go down again and it starts going up, if the coin did not go down again and it starts going up, your 2% or 3% take profit or 5% take profit will be on the $63. So you see that your profit will make sense once there is market correction. Now, if market correction, this coin now you're trading now goes down to -20, all your margin calls will be bought. So all you have to wait is when let the coin starts going up. So once the coin starts going up, the robot will sell because of the settings, because of that unique settings. Another unique settings will be introduced now. I did not mention it. I only told you that Royalq was designed to make profit for us even when the coin is in dip. So some people might say, how is that possible? It's this function I will explain now. Now, if this coin reduce, and the robot buys this your fifth margin, from your fifth margin, it buys your sixth margin. Once it buys your fifth margin, it buys your sixth margin, and it starts going up. This quantity it buys from the fifth margin, the quantity it buys from the sixth margin, it will sell them individually. So even before the robot recovers this 3.2, which is your fourth margin call, this 3.4, which is your third margin call, before the robot goes up again and recover 1.3, which is your second margin call, because this coin will recover to your first buy amount, the price you bought the first buy amount, before you start making profits, before you make profit from the whole trade. But before that one will happen, once your robot buys your fifth call, your sixth call, and the coin starts going up, it will sell your sixth call, it will sell your fifth call independently. Individually, it will sell them and make profit. We call the profit sub-in sales, sub-in real-time settlement sales. It sells them even when the coin is still on this percentage, this margin 1 to margin 4 floating loss, like this on the reduction. It will sell your fifth call because it has started appreciating. But it has not appreciated, it has not recovered fully. It will sell the fifth call because it has made profits. Remember, I said the shop owner that buys the quantity of rice at 30,000 can decide to sell those the three quantity of rice that he bought at 30,000 for 35, for 40. He has made profits from it. And still keep that is one bag of rice, the 2 bags of rice he bought at 40,000 and 50,000. He will keep them. So that is what the robots will do. It will be making profits for you from this 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th if you are using the margin calls. If you are using what we call the strategy mode, the sub-in real-time settlement. If you are using it, is another unique function of this amazing artificial intelligence robot, this business called Royalq. Very amazing with its unique function. So you see that even when others are crying, like yesterday, the day before yesterday, when others were crying of the market going down, liquidating some forex traders, we in Royalq using margin calls, we are happy because you will make more profit when all your margin calls have been bought, because all your trading capital now are now inside the coin. When this coin start appreciating, the robot will start selling them and make profits for you. Now, this fifth call, this fifth margin, this sixth margin, let me complete the explanation of the times. Then I'll come back to this for the percentage. Then I'll come back to these times to explain it. So for the fifth call, the sixth call, you can, when you click, please, anytime you set anything, you edit anything, you must click on confirm so that it will be saved. Before you leave this page, you must click save. But we are not leaving for now. I want to explain the profit. Some people might ask, That fifth core is selling individually, on which take profit percentage release sell it and make profit for me, sub-bin, using the sub-bin mode. Is it this whole position take profit? This whole position take profit, this one, which the signal comes with and says 2%. So some people might ask, since the fifth score and above, the robot sells them individually, can I also set individual take profit on them? I want, when the robot wants to sell my fifth score, my fifth margin individually, it should sell it at 3% for me, or it should sell it at 4% for me. Yes, the robot has that function. Look at this place, they wrote distributed and take profit allocation. Remember, in government, if they give allocation, they are giving it individual. Okay, this state, this is your allocation. This state, this is your allocation. This state, that is how you allocate take profit percentage for each margin cause, starting from the fifth. So if you click on it now, this distributed take profit allocation, you see that on this page, you are not seeing margin 1, margin 2, margin 3, margin 4, because the robot only starts selling sub-bin mode at margin 5, margin 6, and above. So now I can decide, the default is 1.3%. You understand? But I can decide that, okay, this sweet score, since my margin call drop percentage dropped by 5.8 before the robot brought my fifth call, my fifth margin call, let me take 5% profit from the fifth call. So you see that once the robot buys your fifth margin, it means that it has dropped from the fourth call, it has dropped 5.8% drop before it bought your fifth margin. Now you're telling me that once it starts recovering, it's reduced by 5.8 before it bought the fifth call. When it recovers by 5%, let it sell this fifth margin calls for me. So now, because of you use $11 to buy your fifth call, the robot will now do 5% of $11. So who can do 5% of $11? What will be the sub-bin profit for this fifth margin?
That's 0.55.
55.
So you see the robot will say, your trade is still going on, but you see that you are making profits from this trade because of that unique feature called the strategy mode, called the sub-bin real-time settlement. I will show it to you. Sub-bin real-time settlement. The robot will settle you on a real time. Once the robot buys this fixed margin and it starts going up, it makes the 5% or 3% or 4% or 2%. It sells it and gives you the sub-bin sales profit. Others are crying that coins are down. Why you are making sub-bin profit? Now, imagine that the fifth. So let me explain something. Imagine that, yeah, you now decide that you want to use, okay, just imagine, I will come back. Just imagine that you used like $50 to buy this, your particular fifth margin call. You use $50. Others use 11, 11, 11, 11. But when it gets to the fifth call, your times now, your robots use $50 to buy it. Now you set 5% in. So what will be your profit for this when the robot sells this your fifth margin call? What will be your sub-bin real-time settlement profit on the fifth call?
I think $2.5.
2.5.
$2.5.
Yeah.
So you see your profit is much. because of the particular USDT you use to buy the fifth call. So some persons might use smaller amount of USDT to buy margin 1, margin 2, margin 3, margin 4. But when it gets to the fifth call, they will now use like $50. 6 call, they might use 100, depending on their capital. So you might add more capital. They want to open more margin calls. They can increase the times. So now let's go to, I've already started explaining the right side. So let me explain. The right side is called the multiple buy-in ratio. So this Zoom we started 9:40. We started 8:40. This is 9:40. So I'm rounding up. So on the times, multiple buy-in ratio. In the explanation, in the definition of margin configuration, the two things I mentioned is the reduction in prices, which the margin call drop percentage have taken care of. And I said using some amount of USDT. So the times, this right-hand side, multiple buy-in ratio times, that is where you instruct the robot the amount of USDT it should use to buy each margin calls. This is the default 248, 16, 32, 62. So that is the default. So now we said we want to use how much to buy the first margin for this example. Hello? Are we together? Are we following?
With you, coach.
How much did we say we want to use to buy the first margin? How many USDT?
There's only one person that is in this Zoom.
This is an interactive practical class, so you understand the business. When I started, I said $30 for the first buy. The 70 will be left, and out of that 70, we divided it by $11 to get the margin call limit, which is 6. Now I'm asking, how much did we say we want to use to buy each of the margin?
11 each.
$11.
11. So what are we? Are we going to put 11 here?
No.
Okay. So let me explain the multiple buy-in ratio. This place, because of what I just explained now, that you can instruct the robot to use any particular amount of USDT to buy. Royalq now designed this place, these times, to be in buy-in ratio. Buy-in ratio means instead of this 11 here, you put anything you put here, the robot will do 1. If, for instance, you put 1 here, the robot will do 1 times your first buy. 1 times anything you put inside this box now for the first call. If this coin reduced by 1.3, the robot will go to your Binance, use 1 times your first buy, which is 30. So 1 times 30 is what?
30.
The robot will use 30 to buy your first margin calls. But that is not what we want. So what are we going to put inside here now to get 11 when the time sits with 30? 30 is our first buy amount.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going with?
You divide
11 divided by
30 divided by 11.
11 divided by 30.
Someone said 30 divided by 11. Hello?
Yeah, we are with you.
You put
Someone said 30 divided by 11. Can we get 30 divided by 11? What is 30 divided by 11?
That's
Should be 11 divided by
2.72.
30.
Eh?
should be 11 divided by 30.
Let's take the first person's answer first. We'll come back. Someone said 30 divided by 11.
2.72.
2.72.
Yes.
Okay, 2.73. So when the robot reduced by the first score, it reduced by 1.3%. The robot will use 2.73 times our first buy amount, which is 30. 2.73 times 30 is what?
Okay.
Is that what we want?
That's
No.
81.8 or no?
So what are we going to use here?
11 divided by 30.
So what is 11 divided by 30?
0.37.
0.37
approximately.
So someone should do 0.37 times 30. What are we getting?
That's 11.
7.1.
It will give us
So
11.1.
we don't want 11.1 because it's $100 is our trading capital. So we don't approximate. 0.3 what? 0.3
6.
6.
Yes.
So let someone do 0.36 times 30, our first buy.
10.8. 10.8.
So automatically the robot will use 10.8. So we are going to set 0.36 since we are using 11 on all. 0.36, 0.36, 0.36. Now this one, if we use 0.36, please help us do 0.36 times 6. We have 6 margin calls. 0.36 times 6 is what?
That's 2.16.
Times our first buy amount, which is 30.
That's 64.8. Almost
64.8.
60.
4.8. Almost $70.
So you see that we still have some fractions. So what if we want to, we should add the remaining fraction, we add it to our 10.8 so that our 6 margin call we buy with the remaining. So let's get 0.36 times 5. 0.36 times 5.
1.8.
Times 30 is what?
Okay. That will give us 54 on the dot.
54.
Yes, 54. 54.
So if we minus 54 from 70, we'll get what?
We're left with 16.
So now we are going to use 16 to buy this our 6th margin call. So who will do 16 divided by 30? $16 divided by 30.
0.53.
0.5. So is there any question on margin configuration? Please, those investing, those trading with Royalq, your money is already in Royalq. You have already paid the shop rent of Royalq, which is $120. You are supposed to know this. You are supposed to know this. Now is the time to answer a question on margin configuration. If someone asks you what
Please,
is
I have
margin
question.
configuration, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Cosmas.
Cosmos, you're welcome.
Hello? Yeah.
We can hear you.
Thank you for the exposure. I love what you're doing. I have a question with this thing, the margin drop call.
Okay, the margin drop.
Yes, margin call drop.
Okay.
I was thinking that the percentage is supposed to be in ascending order because third call is 3.4 and fourth call is 3.3. Does that mean that if the market drops to 3.4%, it goes up and start coming down again to 3.2?
Okay.
Because I was thinking that the third call is supposed to be 3.2, then fourth call 3.4 progressively in ascending order.
Okay.
That's where I'm confused.
Okay.
And the fifth call is 5.8. instead of
Okay.
5% and C score 5.8. So I need
Okay.
a clarification with those.
Okay. Like before I started explaining the margin call drop, I said something that someone asked me, what will he use for the margin call drop percentage? I told him to use anything, any numbers, like anything you put here, or you know that the total should equal to the total margin, the reduction you want to cover. If you say you want to cover 20%, whether you put here 16, whether you put here 16% and you put here, okay, whether you put here 5% and you put 15%, you put here 1, put here 1, you put here 1, put here 1, put here 1. It's up to you. No order. No order. Are we following?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, we are following.
Yes.
There's no
Yes.
order of the drop. There is no order. Well, anyhow you want to do it. But remember, if you put here 10, you now put here 10, you now put here 10. Depending on the coin you are trading, that's why I told the person that you are the one that know the coin you want the robot to trade for you. Some coins, if you are using 10 now and you want to trade Bitcoin, for instance, you want to use this margin now, this margin call drop to trade Bitcoin. You know that you just tell yourself that you don't want your robots to buy margin calls for you. Bitcoin is kind of a coin that is not that, it does not jump. Bitcoin does not jump like that. Do you understand? Bitcoin does not jump. So you cannot use this call drop now for a coin like Bitcoin. So there are some volatile coins that can fly. Like if you use the setting for Agro now, I will say yes, it can go. If you use the settings for ATA, I will say yes, it can go. If you use the settings for Shiba, most of these coins that can fly, they can do 50% increment. They can do 100% reduction. They can do 200% reduction. Those are the coins you can use this kind of settings. There are some settings you put here if the spacing is too much, you see that your robot will hardly buy margin calls for you. So you see, I just decided to set it this way. My own is the total margin calls will equal 20, we cover 20% drop. So please, there is no different, there's no order. There's no order of arranging it, the times. So next question. Or do you still have more?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So we said this one is 0.5 watts. Who gave us the answer that time?
5-3.
5-3, okay. So is there another question on this margin configuration? Or you have understood it well? If you have not understood it, please ask question. We have like 20 more minutes.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good.
Please, Leader Osha, please
Can
check
you
the chat so I can't see the chat in case we have any questions here. Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. What I want to be clear on again is like
Okay.
this 1.3, 1.3 now. We are looking
Okay.
at it based on percentage, or is it on amount? Like is it the 1.3, is it $11.3 or 11.3%?
You said this 1.3% reduction is what? Is it what?
Are we looking at it based on percentage only, or are we looking at it as also price, like $11.3 also, or just
No.
only?
No. the left part of the margin configuration works with price. I said at any reduction, at any percentage reduction, Royalq calculates the price of that coin, the price of the coin. Every coin has its price, the value of the coin. So at any percentage drop, Royalq gets the value, the price of the coin in that value. So on the left-hand side, which is talking about the margin call drop percentage, is just talking about the price of the coin. It's not talking about the USDT you want to use to buy. It's only talking about the reduction of the coin when it's reduced by 1.3%. On the Royalq, you will see a price that tallies to the 1.3% drop. So anytime the coin drops by 1.3%, it will give you the, like Bitcoin, they dropped by between 5 to 6%. And it dropped from 45,000. The new price of that drop was down at 42,000. So that is the meaning of the margin call drop. So do you have any other question?
Okay.
Do you have
Yes,
any other
yes,
question?
that's question.
Okay.
That question.
Please
So
go ahead.
moving forward, we also said for the right hand side. So for instance, we did 11 divided by 30 to get
Yes.
0.36.
Yes.
Right? So that 11, does it correlate with the 1.3%? That's just what I want to know. Like, does it have any?
Okay.
Is it related
Okay.
to the 1.3%?
Okay. I said something when I explained what margin configuration is all about. I don't know if you joined us when we started the Zoom. Did you join us from when I explained what the meaning of margin calls?
Yes, I
Mr.
did.
George, Mr. George, when you're through, I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know if you can let me come in.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. This what's it called? This piece, this drop, the percentage, which is 1.3. So let me explain. When you start the trade, this first call, you are telling the robot that if that coin drops 1.3% from your entry price, meaning when you start that trade, your first call, you are instructing your robot that if that coin drops 1.3, you should buy $13. That's the first call. The second call, you are instructing your robot again that if this coin drops 1.3%, it's talking about the drop. That's when the coin is going down. So the second call, if it drops 1.3% again, that is the second call. Your robot is going to trigger and buy $13, which is the 0.3, which is your multiplier buying ratio. Now, for the third time, you are instructing your robot that if it drops by 3.4%, it has nothing to do with the $11. And you can set it. It doesn't have a particular way to set it. You can decide, let's say I have a coin, I want to trade a coin, and I decide, okay, this coin, I want to cover a 20% drop, or I want to cover a 30% drop. My mind is telling me that this coin can drop 30%. Let me cover that amount of drop. You set your drop. It doesn't have to be 20. If your mind tells you, okay, you want to, or even your capital, most time it can work with your capital too, your percentage drop. So, okay, I want to cover 10% drop. You set it. It doesn't have a standard settings to set drop. Even your multiplier buying ratio has to go with your capital. That's why you see George is saying that let's say he has $100. He wants to use $30 as his first buy. The remaining 70, he wants to split it to buy his margin, which is $11. That's how I calculate it. Some people can say, okay, I want, you already said it. So you can decide to say, okay, you want to buy $20. If you want to use $20 with your remaining 70, you calculate it. But this margin call drop has to do with the way the coin is going down. What you are instructing your robot at certain percentage to buy for you. So if that coin drops the third time by 3.4%, like it's going down by 3.4%, your robot is going to buy another $11. If it drops by 3.2 again, it's going to buy another $11. Then the fifth time, this time is dropping by 5.8%. It's going to buy another 11. Then your sixth call, if it drops by 5, it's going to buy, I think, 16 or $15.8. So this margin call drop is talking about how the coin is going down, how you want your robot to buy at a certain percentage that it is going down. So if you calculate all these first call, the 1.3, the second drop, I think it will cover 20%. Calculate it, 1.3, 1.3, 3.4, 3.2, 5.8 plus 5. This will be able to accommodate around 20% drop. Now, if this coin drops more than 20%, that's when patience will come in. That's one. Or you can add more USDT and open more margin calls. I don't know if I'm able to. The person that asked that question, I don't know if I'm able
Yes,
to explain for you to understand.
I I I understand better now.
Okay.
I understand better now.
So
Thank
is
you.
there any other question?
Yes, yes.
Is there any question on the chat?
Yes, I have a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
You spoke about the margin call drops. That is, you can, depending on the percentage you're targeting, and you spoke about
Yeah.
some coins going down compared to other coins. So is there like
Okay.
a list of coins that actually go down compared to other coins? Because I
Oh,
think
even Royalq. Okay, let me just show you. Let me show you for. Yeah, can you see my screen?
yes, yes.
Okay, I will enter a trade now. I will select a coin and you see what Royalq will tell you. Let me see coins like, let me search for Acro. Okay, I want to trade Acro. Okay, let me see. Acro did not give that. I see my network. Okay, wait, let me search for Atta. Let me see. Can you see?
Yes,
Can
I'm
you
seeing.
see this reminder? There
Oh,
are some
yes,
coins
yes.
that are very, very volatile. Royalq will give you the Royalq will inform you.
Okay, okay.
Then there are some coins when you enter, you will not get that notification. So do you have any other question?
Oh no. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a question on the chat? Without sharing.
No, there are no questions on the chat.
Okay. So you can take over.
Do we have any other questions, please? Before we
Okay,
round
someone
up.
is saying, wait, there's a question on the chat now.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, Austin Ugochukwu said, what happens when there is no market correction at all? So when there is no market correction, the robot will just be trading just that's your first buy amount. So if your take profit is 2% and your trade is on cycle, the robot will buy with 30, make the 2%, sell it, buy again with 30, make the 2% on $30, sell it, buy with 30, make the 2% and sell. So you'll be only be making 2% profit on $30 if there is no market correction for that week. But in all, there must be market correction. That is people. Coins must go up and come down. Chu said, if possible, provide the martingale settings using the signal drop in the WhatsApp group. Yes, signals dropped few signals. They have settings. You see there, magic 135. So they have settings for it. Once you join the, once you activated, you will receive the sheet, the settings sheet for to set the martingale strategy, the settings. Once you are activated and you are on the group and you have been added to our active partners group, you get the martingale settings. So, but if you are, for those that are already activated and you are on our group and you don't have the settings for those signal that you see, and you see one shot magic 136, you need to save those signals. We'll send you the templates. It's an Excel sheet. You will see it and you see all the magic settings, so you can save them. Okay, someone is saying, when trading with Royalq on Binance, can you use USDT in Binance for other trades? Yes, if you are trading, all Royalq is saying that don't touch the quantity. If Royalq is trading BTC for you, one BTC, that one BTC in your Binance, you must not touch it. If you are using 200 USDT to set up a trade, or you are using 100, your trade capital for that coin is 100 USDT, but your robot have already used 30 as first buy, and you are seeing spare of $70. That $70 is what you have already used to set up your margin calls. You cannot use that $70 in your Binance to do any other trades. So you cannot use it. You can only, when you buy new USDT, you do not budget it for anything. You can use it in your Binance for other trades if you want to do other trades. So I think that should be all. Also, you can close the Zoom for us. Someone is raising hand, I don't know. Okay.
Can you mute yourself and ask your question, please?
Okay. Okay, like the answer. So you can take. Okay.
Do we have any other questions before we round up? Please, you can ask your questions. It doesn't have to be on margin call. It can be anything.
Okay, I have another question to ask. This trading on Royalq, where is one's trading fund capital supposed to be? Is it on sports wallet or future wallet? Thank you.
We only trade on spot on Royalq, so your capital has to be on spot wallet. So you move it from funding or wherever it is to spot wallet.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because I just activated my account this evening, this night, and I can't find. I already banned my finance with Royalq, and I can't find my trading capital reflecting on this thing on Royalq.
Do you have
Meanwhile,
an
it is on
account?
Hello? Yes? You said did I have what?
Do you have an upline?
Yes.
Do you
It's all
have?
right.
Are you
I'll
a
ask my
member?
upline. Yes, George is my upline. I'll ask him later.
Okay. All right.
What
Oh,
is
you
the
can.
question?
I don't know. You can do that now.
What is the question?
Yeah, I had my capital, my trading fund on Spot Wallet. So when I
Yeah.
connected to Royalq, it was not
Okay.
reflecting when I clicked on
Have you
extract.
have you have you
So
done your API binding?
yes, I've done that. So when I moved
Uh,
my capital to futures, to USD futures, it was showing on Royalq.
most time in Royalq strategy page, that balance of USD hardly refresh. So you can just, it doesn't stop you from entering. It doesn't stop you from entering your trade using the
Okay,
USDT. As far as your USDT is in your Binance Spot wallet, you can go
okay,
ahead
okay,
and use your. You can go ahead and use
okay.
your stuff. Thank you.
Okay. Then another question. When I was binding my Royalq to my Binance, when I created my API on Binance,
Okay.
should I tick future trading, or I should forget about future trade and just tick
We
only spot?
only trade sports, please.
Is all
We
right.
only
Is
trade
all right.
sports. You heard when I explained what Royalq is all about. I never mentioned
Yes.
futures. I said
Is all right.
futures, people got liquidated yesterday, day before yesterday.
Yes.
We are trading Royalq
Yes.
on sports trading because it's safe,
Is all right.
safe and secured.
Yes.
So it's
I'm
only
okay now.
sports
I'm
we
okay.
trade. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So we have questions on the chat. I'm trading with Bernard. Okay, I think this one has been answered. Can I change an ongoing trade from one shot to circle? Yes. You can change it whenever you want to. You can change it from one shot to circle. You can change it from circle to one shot. The only thing that you cannot change is when your robot has bought your fifth margin and is on whole warehouse mode, you cannot change it to sub-B mode as long as it has bought your fifth margin. But circle one shot, yes, you can change it whenever you like. I believe that we do not have any more questions. So we can round up today's Zoom. So I don't know if we have new members here that are joining us for the first time. Go back to the person that sent you the Zoom link, and the person is going to guide you on how to activate your robot so you can begin this wonderful journey making money and also learning about the cryptocurrency market and learning about how to use this beautiful and amazing robot. Once again, I want to thank everyone for taking our time to attend this Zoom meeting. Also, I would like to thank Leader George for always taking time to come and tutor us, even if he has a very busy schedule. Thank you so much. And once again, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope we will be very, 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 very intentional and present in this new year. Always attend Zoom meetings, please. Very important. If at all you have any reasons to miss any Zoom meeting, please always check the YouTube channel. We always post the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow up because trust me, if you don't know anything about the robot, you cannot make money. That's just fact. I cannot give you a plane now and you start to fly the plane. It's not possible. You want to learn how to fly the. In fact, if I give you a plane and I teach you for 1 hour, I don't think fear will let you even fly the plane. I teach you. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to, for 1 hour, and I hand you the plane. You won't fly it. So you need to continually attend Zoom meetings. You need to continually ask questions. You need to continuously watch videos. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Always ask questions. The only people I will not be answering when they come to my DMs are people that I did not see in Zoom meetings, because you will not come and stress me. But as long as you are attending Zoom meetings and watching videos, if you ask me questions, I will definitely answer you, because I know that you are present, you are actively trying to learn about it. It's not going to be a one-time thing. Even what the judge might have said today, you might have forgotten some parts. That's why it's being recorded and it's going to be dropped in the YouTube channel. So you can always go back, watch it, and refresh your memory. So thank you so much once again for taking our time. Our Zoom meetings are Thursdays and Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Always try as much as possible to attend. Good night, everybody, and have an amazing weekend ahead.
Good night.